guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I am Anna and I'm a little bit spooky, and today we are playing with the Milk Cosmetics Waiting Room palette and doing this New Year's Eve super duper glam look in collaboration with some of my favorite people here on YouTube, Serena, Donna, and Liz. I will have their channels linked below in the description box and in the cards. Do go check out their looks because we did a Christmas collab together and they absolutely killed it, and it was so freaking beautiful. They really like stepped it up and like went outside their comfort zones and did amazing, beautiful glam. My New Year's Eve glam that I created today for our collaboration, and I kind of love the way it came out. I wanted to go, I always think silvers and cool tones for New Year's Eve. I don't know why. And that's kind of what I just went for with this look. Very cold and icy and just gothy glam goodness. And I paired it with a super blood red deep lip from ColourPop. And I feel like I got it on my teeth. I always feel like I got it on my teeth. I always have it on my teeth. This was a very exciting collaboration to get to do with some of my favorite people here. I think they are the best part of 2020, was meeting this group of girls on Instagram and creating this little YouTube family. So yeah, if you want to see how I got this look, and here's some few thoughts on the Waiting Room palette while I do the look and chit chat and hang out a little bit, just go ahead and keep on watching. But before you do, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below, and go check out my girls' channels. And without further ado, let's get into this glam look, this New Year's Eve glam. So this is attempt number 4 at this point of this video. I am off my game. It is that time of the month. I've been a little bit of a train wreck since Christmas Eve. So let's put it that way. We're doing a New Year's Eve glam look today, and this is in collaboration with my favorite girls. Move my brushes out the way. Guess what palette I'm playing with today? The Waiting Room palette from Milk Cosmetics and Beetlejuice. I want to go into, oh, it's messy, this row right here. Just some classic monochromatic, cool toned, silvery, super gothy glam makeup look. And that's just what I'm feeling, and that's what we're gonna go for. I don't know why I always think cool tones are like silvers for New Year's, but I just do, and I love a good smoky eye with a pop of silvery shine like right here. And this shade Juno in the palette is kind of a taupey silver. It's very pretty, and yeah, I think it would just be the right kind of shade to use. And I want to use these nice taupey grays into the crease and everything else. So let's go ahead and just get started. I'm actually was just watching Nikki Twirl's documentary, Layers of Me. Oh my gosh, I'm on the episode about her brother, and that time of the month is definitely not the time to watch that. But so far, that's been a fantastic documentary. I absolutely love Nikki so much, so will forever be one of my favorite people. I'm loving this documentary, getting to see more of her and her world, and I'm loving that. Which leads me into our collaboration today. I'm gonna take Sandworm on a fluffy brush here and go ahead and hit the brow bone. Yeah, this is a collab with 3 of the girls from my YouTube, Instagram. What we would call a group is now just a family. This time Serena was like, hey, let's do a New Year's Eve glam tutorial collab, and I was like, hell yeah, I'm down. And so it's me, Serena, Donna, and Liz in this one, and we are all really excited. It was so funny. We were all talking yesterday about, you know, filming. I was like, I'm filming today, and I was like, never mind. But yeah, well, that's a nice way to end the year, is to do a collab. I don't think our YouTube year would have been the same without each other. We just have this lovely little YouTube family now, and it's the support and friendship and just everything else from this group has made YouTube such a fun venture. I think YouTube, like I think I said this before, it can be kind of a lonely thing, and that's really remedied that lonely side of it where you don't feel like you're alone in it. It's fantastic to have that. Okay, next I'm gonna go into the shade Shrunken Head, and we're gonna start to bring that through the transition and crease. I'm going to take this on a fluffy blending brush from e.l.f. I'm going to kind of knock off the excess and start to bring that through here. I've already primed my eyes, obviously, and did my brows. I have a little bit of Ride or Die lip balm on. What's been really interesting and something Donna brought up in her video day before yesterday that she did with Serena was seeing the growth with each other. Like she was talking about Serena, and yeah, I feel like a proud big sister when I think about Serena. She's come out of her shell so much and become herself and unapologetically herself, and it's so beautiful to see that. And to start her own makeup business and everything, and it's just absolutely fantastic. I'm so proud of her. Seeing Donna branch out with makeup and do some more experimental looks this year has been so fun. Like her Christmas look, she did glitter brows. This is somebody who hates glitter. She went there and did glitter brows. Hell yeah, and she's been doing the most beautiful halo eyes and cut creases lately. The girl is getting it with the makeup. And speaking of going there for their Christmas look, Liz did that with her candy cane eyebrows. Oh my god. The patience and the skill it took to do that, it was amazing. And Liz did Vlogmas this year, which was really nice to see some of her everyday life type of thing. I like to get to know people like that on that level. And seeing her fur babies, that was such a highlight. She's got a kitten named Bear that is the most precious thing in the world. Oh my god. All her cats are absolutely beautiful though. I'm like, I want to go to your house and play with your kitties. My husband's allergic to cats, so I don't get to play with cats very often. So when I get to go to someone's house that has a kitty cat that's friendly, I'm like, kitty! I love cats personally. I love all animals basically. If it's an animal, I love it. I don't care what it is. I'm gonna be that person who tries to pet a tiger and loses his arm. You know, that's me. If it's furry, can I cuddle it? Just gonna start that through here to build that transition. I'm probably gonna be going back and forth a lot because we are gonna go hella smoky and build up just a little more. Oh, and Donna did a video every single day in I could never. At my peak productivity, I couldn't do that. My peak productivity is maybe getting 4 videos a week. I don't know how she did it. And had fresh, like, fun content every day. You know, it wasn't just vlogs or something. It was like full-on structured videos. I think doing like full-on like Vlogmas would be fun to do, like where you film your every single day. I'm also like, when do you have time to edit and upload that and let it process? Because I would not have time. I would have to like pre-film some stuff just to have like broke up in there, because I'm not that exciting of a person. My vlogs are usually the culmination of 2 weeks worth of footage because I'm not that exciting. I stay home a lot, and especially now, and just basically do this and edit most of the time, and I vlog when I do something entertaining. That's one thing about vlogs, you're only showing the good, really. Okay, that is looking good. We're already off to a better start. Look, I'm pink right here, a little bit on my eyes, because I tried playing with the pink in this palette yesterday. I think it's a pressed pigment, and it totally stained the shit out of my eyes. So that's with concealer over it. I'm still like, oh, girl, it's going to get pink. All right, let's go into Tombstone. I think I'm gonna stick with, no, we'll go down a little bit size of a brush. We're gonna go with the Sigma Diffuse Crease. We're going to Tombstone, which is a little bit deeper. I bought some Sigma brushes yesterday. Christmas present to myself. I think, well, I bought them, yeah, I think I bought them on Christmas Day because I was having an emotional Christmas. I'm a very typical Capricorn who does not handle change of plan well, especially last minute changes of plans. It just sets me off, and then it was also right before the lady times, so I was just, that's all it takes is like the least little change and I'm gonna freaking lose my mind, and apparently that's what happened. It wasn't just the one little thing, like there was like a little handful of things I was already fighting, wanting to be upset about something, and then we ended up having to go into quarantine and not doing our small Christmas that we even had planned. So that just really threw me for a loop. And once you get the waterworks going, I swear I can't stop. Once I get in one of those little funks where I cry, and like I mean ugly cried. It's like a 24-hour thing. I'm just gonna be like watching TV and they're gonna show something cute and I'm gonna cry. Like it's just, once it gets going, the flood, here come the waterworks, you know what I mean? That doesn't happen often, thank God, but this was just holidays are hard. And especially during the pandemic, extra hard, but I'm always a little emotional around Christmas, and so just a number of little things that were kind of snowballing that I need to treat myself to some Sigma brushes to sum that up. I need this. I'm still building Tombstone, but Pumpkin had the best Christmas ever because we got to stay home with her, and she got so many presents. I went to Petco a couple days before Christmas, before I was in quarantine, and I picked her up like 4 toys, 2 balls, 4 squeakies, 2 balls in various sizes, one big one that she can like chew and it's got like texture she can get after, and one that's good for fetching that's smaller. She likes fetch. And I got her a sweater, a jacket, and I already had her a soft fleecy blanket that I got her. So she had a epic Christmas haul and has been so happy just playing and squeaking. She's already picked a favorite toy for right now. But she's played with every single one of the toys. And she's just been having her best little Christmas break. It sucks, like everybody's in quarantine right now. My whole husband's side of the family are quarantined until they can get tested. And we didn't even see each other, like totally separate exposures. This was bosses. Another friend just tested positive yesterday. I would say we're having a spike here in Old Sin-Law. Just like a wave of cramps. I know I'm gonna want an intense crease and socket, so I'm really going in, building that up. I'm going to go to a smaller brush. I think I'm gonna go with this little blendy brush here, little fluffy mini brush. This is a 506 from Morphe, and I'm gonna go into the black called Charman and start to build out on this outer corner. Okay, it's looking pretty good. I'm blowing that black shade out as there's less on the brush and kind of getting this very winged, smoky shape going. And I'm gonna kind of bring it through the socket here very lightly, and then take my elf brush. Alright, now that we've got that black kind of in the placement where I want it, I'm gonna kind of just build up a little more. I think I'm on the lid just a little bit, but I'm keeping it mainly focused out here and a little bit into the crease. Now I'm going to take the sweeper and go into Sandworm once again and kind of put that just not so much right here, but just a little bit of it. Not a bit too much. The shade's very pigmented. It's like a white blue tone. Just want to put down the lid just to make sure that's not looking pink right there where it's stained. Now initially on my fingertip I'm going to take a little bit of Juno, which is the pretty silvery taupe shimmer. I'm going to start to pat that into the lid. This is a kind of a sheer, very chunky shade, and I found that it performs best just on a finger. Tried it with a wet brush, tried dry brush. A finger seems to be the way to go. It's not the easiest to use shade. It's the only shade in this palette that I kind of don't love. It's pretty, you know, on the eye and everything. It's just the texture I'm not a fan of. It's very chunky, and that looks better in a sheer layer rather than just trying to build it up, because it can just look real textured. In the Gemini palette, the gold in it is the same type of shade. It's not my favorite. I find it messy. Like, it kind of just gets everywhere. Gets where you don't want it. Gets all over your cheeks. Looks pretty good so far. I'm gonna catch the other eye up and then I'll be right back. Got the other eye caught up. Yeah, I think we need some dramatic winged liner for this look. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and I'm gonna map out where I want to put my liner with a gel pencil. This is Wicked from Sigma, and I'm going to just line the lash line to begin with. I also built up the black just a little bit to get it nice and intense. And we'll be going back and putting a little more in just a moment. I'm going to bring the liner all the way in very thinly on this inner part. Mostly just like kind of almost tight lining. Come up and thicken up as we get out here. And I'm just going to kind of map out where I want it. Then we take an angled pencil or angled liner brush and just tap over that. Could kind of soften and set it in place. I'm just gonna wing it out. Let that float into that black eyeshadow in the outer V. Really gonna Go for it though. Look pretty far out. Bring it back in on itself and just build up the darkness right in here. And just have that really kind of soft, not super defined. I'm gonna go around that edge just a little bit, a little blendy brush, just to make sure nothing is looking harsh. Sometimes in the mirror up close it looks fine, but then you kind of step back, you can see somewhere that might need blending a little more, or somewhere that you want to build up a little bit more product. Just gonna take a little pencil brush. So far so good. Blendy brush here, just to make sure everything is soft. Now what I'm gonna do is kind of make sure there's a nice flow right here on the lid between our shimmer. I'm gonna clean up that fallout and crisp up the wing with a Q-tip and a little bit of my face primer. Today I'm gonna use the Angel Veil from NYX in my hand, and I take my Q-tip and swirl it into that face primer. This works best with like a really silicone-y face primer. And just kind of use that as a magic eraser. It looks crazy right now, but you'll see. And just crisp up that line, just like that. And go ahead and clean up the rest of the fallout. And I'm just gonna kind of come up to the brow like that. Alright, I'm gonna go do the other eye. Be right back. Let's do the lower lash line now. In case I get any more fallout, I can clean it up before we do the rest of the face. Sometimes I do the eyes all in one go and just prime under here and do a little concealer. That way it works, it flows. I don't do this often unless I think I'm gonna have fallout from the lower lash line, and I did yesterday, so I'm gonna do it like that today. My friend just picked me up some coffee. My leave kicked in, thank God. Oh goodness, I was having a time with the cramps. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of my concealer here and just go ahead and put that on the under eye area. And I'll probably brighten up later with a little more. But this is just gonna act as my primer for under here. And so there's no disconnect when I do the makeup. So I'm just gonna tap that on with my finger. I did put some eye primer there earlier today, but I kind of wiped it off. At this point, you can actually use a concealer brush to really clean up your line there if you wanted to, like this. You can really sharpen up your wing. I'm not going to set that concealer down. I'm going to use that as my base. And first thing I do is take my black eyeliner from Sigma, the Wicked Jawliner pencil. Best eyeliner ever. Should have ordered it back up the other day. And I'm just going to bring it like where it's connecting to that wing out here. And just going to bring it across so that it joins up. And I'm going to come all about halfway on the lash line and kind of get in a tight line. Get right into his lashes. That's a look, isn't it? I'm going to take my pencil brush and just kind of blur that out a little first. Smudge it all the way across. I'm actually watching Julia Adams play with this collection, the Beetlejuice collection, right now. I've had that on my playlist forever, just not going around watching it. I finished the Nikki Tutorials documentary and nearly teared up a couple of times there. Really did. It was just, I love her so much. I really do. I don't always have. She was one of the first people I started watching on YouTube. I always thought she was such an inspiration. Getting there into that little tight line there, waterline. Okay, now I'm going to take the black eyeshadow on this pencil brush, tap it off, and blend. Trying to be kind of tight to the lash line, but still smoky. But I don't want it to get too crazy, which is the ideal. The reason I'm doing this before my makeup is that if it comes down here, if I get a little out of hand, I can clean it up and blend it with a nice smoky lower lash line. You can't go wrong. Now I'm going to take my little medium sweeper from Morphe, go into Tombstone, and squinch my eye up here, kind of blur that out. And let that blow in up into the wing. And have that a nice connected flow. Gonna reinforce the black a little bit. Yeah, so far my quarantine's not going too bad. Friend just got me coffee, dropped it off. My sister dropped off a Christmas king cake. I also was given a gallon of cookie two-step, cookie two-step Bluebell. I'm gonna get real. I'm gonna gain like a pound for every day that I'm in quarantine is what's gonna happen. Oh yeah, well we're coming up on New Year, New Me, so we can just worry about that in the new year. I remember at Christmas Eve, I think it was going into 2017, and I was griping about how horrible like 2016 was as a year, and thinking it was just oh, it was so bad and all this stuff. 2020 said, hold my beer. 2020 was a rough year. I mean, it was a rough year on everyone, I think, except Raw Beauty Christie. I'm pretty sure she won 2020 and had like the best year ever. I'm just blurring this out under here. I mean, the girl had 2 collabs and had a baby. Dream house. She told 2020 to hold her beer. It's funny. I was bitching about that one year being so bad. I'm like, wasn't that bad. This year was something else. I wouldn't say it was the worst year of my life, but it was definitely the weirdest year and a pretty hard year. It was a very emotionally tiring year to me. There was a lot of things happened. You can see I'm taking my Q-tip and just kind of cleaning up a little bit right here, where I think it got a little too far down. It was a very stressful year, and you know, some bad things that happened personally within my family and everything. We also had like, you know, some not so bad times too, and it was just very eventful, and it was like one thing after the other. It was like no just break kind of thing. And I just hope 2020 is just chill. Just be chill. Now I'm gonna do this other lower lash line and do my complexion, and we'll be back for the finishing touches. I'm gonna pop on some lashes as well. See you in just a minute. I don't know what color lipstick I want to wear. I was swatching lipsticks, so that is why my lips are pink. They got stained. So lashes are on. Got the whole face done. Looking a little ghostly, I know. It's just how I look. So yeah, got some pretty long lashes on. These are some Kiss Wispies that are just, and I love them. They're so wispy but so long and so bold. I touched up my shimmer a little bit, and we're gonna address the under eye just a tad more, just to kind of make sure it's looking perfect. So what I'm gonna do is take a little blending brush here. This is a Morphe 562. First I'm gonna do it with no product and just kind of soften that out, just to get rid of any harshness under there, and blur that out, make sure everything's just blended and smoky. And now I'm gonna take just the teensiest bit of shrunken head on this brush, knock it off, and just dust it right along here, just to make sure everything is seamless. It helps if I scrunch my eyes up and do like French Stewart, and just really like blend on that eye back. Now I'm gonna take a little sponge tip applicator, because I can get good precision with this little guy. And I'm gonna take a little bit of Juno, like on the kind of edge of it, and I'm gonna just hit right there on that inner bit, flow over ever so slightly. This shade really is not great. It's so flaky. I definitely have better shades like this in the Venus Immortalis palette. There's a shade just the exact same color that performs a little better. That's my only gripe about this palette. Only gripe. And there's the shade in the Gemini palette that's like this too that I don't use. It's just a pain in the ass. The reason I'm using this sponge tip is because it picks it up, and I can get in there and not get it everywhere, because this shade just wants to go everywhere. See, I'm a fan of a sponge tip applicator for certain things. When you need precision and just want a touch of color in some tiny spot, or it's like a cream, like Super Shock shadow type of formula, there are certain formulas that really do benefit from the sponge tip. Mostly like just metallics and shimmers. I wouldn't, you know, blend my whole eyeshadow with one, obviously. Let's not get too crazy, but I do think they have a place in one's repertoire, or one's arsenal. So now I got a little bit on my cheeks. That shade is just not it. Melt could have done better on that. And you know, it hurts me to say that. I do love Melt so much. Kind of what I'm going for. And what I'm going to do now is also, with that sponge tip up here, just kind of got it out, I'm going to jump into my Fenty Diamond Balm in How Many Carats, and I'm going to take that on the inner corner. I'm just going to pat it on. Again, this works because this is like a putty formula. And this just gets an extra little shimmer in there. And do a little finger action. Really just brightens that up. And look at that shine. Just puts a pretty little bit of a glittery effect in there. So I want that ear corner to be just to shine bright like a diamond. All right, you know it'd be really pretty. I'd like to put like a little rhinestone in the inner corner. I don't have any though, but that would be beautiful. Or some silver glitter, gorgeous. And I don't have any silver glitter. Ugh. Anyway, all right, eyes are done. Now let's move on to the rest of the face real quick. I am gonna jump over to my Hourglass palette just to grab a little bit of bronzer and blush from it. And just the irony of using Hourglass with an e.l.f. brush. I'm gonna take a little bit of the bronzer in these. This is the Sculpt Unlocked. It's the little one. And use it to kind of warm up the face just a little bit. Because, girl, I know how I look. You don't gotta tell me. I wasn't going for Morticia vibes today, but I ended up with Morticia vibes today. So we are gonna warm it up just a bit. Try to bring some life back into the face. All right, and we take the blush. And we'll do a little bit of the finishing powder. Just to make sure everything's blending together. I've got lipstick everywhere. And for highlighter, I'm gonna use the Diamond Balm. Just gonna go with my finger. I didn't expect that to pick up very well on a fan brush, but it did. I mean, if you can't do a glittery highlight on New Year's Eve, when can you? And besides, I'm spending New Year's Eve at home by myself probably, so I can do what I want. I'm gonna fix hair and put on my jewelry, kind of sort this mess out, and then we'll be back to do the lips and be all finished up. See you in just a minute. Finish this look off. I feel like I've been sitting here way too long filming this. I don't know why. I do know why, because I have. I've been just farting around. And I'm gonna line my lips with the Hocus Pocus lip liner from ColourPop. This is in the Sarah shade, or this was in the Sarah lip kit. It is the shade Lucky Rat Tail. Now I'm gonna go in with LAX from ColourPop. This is the Ultra Matte Lippy. This one I think is kind of like a dupe for Vampira from KVD. Just a way better formula. Alright, let that dry down. Now get on our tea. Okay, and here is our look for New Year's Eve complete. Even though I will be spending my New Year's Eve at home, most likely by myself. Why not do a little glam for yourself and make yourself feel pretty? Hey, you may have a Zoom New Year's Eve party. That would be a really cute idea. So yeah, this is how everything came out using the Waiting Room palette from Milk Cosmetics. I do love this. I really want to get the other one. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me today and seeing how we got this New Year's Eve look. And don't forget to go subscribe to Donna, to Liz, and to Serena. I will have all their information in the description box below and in the cards. They are all such amazing, fantastic people. We are peas in a pod. They might be the best part of 2020, was meeting this group of girls, because they've just made this YouTube journey so much more fun and so much more special. So yeah, thank you for hanging out today, and I will see you guys in the next one. Happy 2021. Let's hope it's a better one, and I will see y'all later. Bye now.